Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I say another video, we've not had a video in quite a while, but this is the Nations Cup Season 3 highlights, the final season of the first official FIA Championship on Gran Turismo Sport. And we start with the Nations Cup review, and this is the first round. So the first round, Brands Hatch. An interesting one with Group 3 cars, one of my better tracks of course because the bot test is done here. So the potential here was to go get to the front and try and get as many points as we can. Get a really good start to the season. Now, we chose the Evo because that seemed to be the best car with stability and things like that. And we had practiced a lot for this race. It was one of the races I've practiced the most for. So I knew about strategy and things like that. Brands Hatch is all about strategy more than overtakes because it's a very tight track, very technical. There's some high speed sections, so it's all about biding your time. Can you fuel save a tiny bit better? Can you capitalise on people's mistakes? Because there's always going to be mistakes at Brands Hatch, especially on this more sort of in the inner section of the circuit. So we advance a bit further ahead to lap number 4 now, and you can see the battle is going on ahead. There's a train of cars here. We've got Afo, we've got Roffel, we've got Matty, myself, and then Williams Koke. Afo in the Porsche, really struggling at the moment, really holding everybody up. Roffel's in the Porsche as well, but really slowing these Evos up. We were going so slow at this point. It was quite remarkable, to be honest. Koke going for a move around the outside. Initially went for the inside, or went for the outside. Because we've been slowed up here a lot, Koke taking a very opportunistic move there to go around the outside at the hairpin and just gets it done here. And gets ahead of me there. I'm not too worried. As I say, I've been fuel saving a lot. I've just had key there. Potentially going for a move, but backs out of it as well. I'd say most people are going for strategy here. If it wastes a lot of time, you're not going to go for the move. If it doesn't waste a lot of time, it's absolutely no problem. So we go out that corner, no problem at all. Down to 7th, again, not too bad. This is a strong lobby, as you can see. So we go to lap number 8 at this point. And Roffel is up ahead. Then we got Matty and then Williams Koke. Afo has pulled the distance here. So obviously earlier on where he was struggling, managed to get the distance, managed to get away from this battle. So Roffel just holding everybody up now in this train. We'll call it a Porsche train, not a pug train this time, as we come down to Graham Hill Bend. Obviously a very tricky corner. And with the FIA as well, we had really big track limits. So you can see nobody running extremely wide there at Graham Hill. And that's why the Evo was quite good. So Williams Koke going for a move there. That wasn't very good in terms of hitting Matty. Really should have given that position back, to be honest. Even if you're racing at this point, if you cause another competitor to go off due to a mistake or an error, you really need to give that place back. But even so, we'll continue on. We're up to 6th position at this point, and we just need to catch up to the guys in front. You can hear me in the background just saying, you know, little things here and there. I have toned that down a little bit just because I'm commentating over it, but you may be able to get glimpses of that in the background. So at this point of the race, I'm thinking, right, okay, I'm going to try something different here. I'm being slowed up so much. My lap times are so off the pace. It's ridiculous. I'm going to try something different.
Here we go, guys.
As you just heard from me there. So we come into the pits 1 lap earlier than expected. Obviously, 18 laps. You come in on lap 9. Now, here's the funny mistake. So let's have a look at the fuel.
Different here. We're being held up massively.
You just hear me saying we're being held up there. So the fuel going in. 7, 8, 9. Just about 10 laps of fuel. Now, that amount of fuel was for if I came in on the end of lap 9, not the end of lap 8. I practiced this combo so much that I had that value stuck in my head.
No way
because
can get to the end of the race on that fuel.
because I knew that I was going to come at the end of lap 9. I didn't realise I'd get held up so much. So you may have heard me mention about Alonen as well up ahead. So tier 3 Alonen had jumped everybody in the pits. Now I underfilled, obviously, because I underfilled by a lap. And I knew what I was going to do in the second half of the stint. So we're just going to fast forward a little bit here because obviously Perpy hasn't gone in yet in the Mazda. And we're going to get held up here a little bit. A bit frustrating, but even so, if we'd have actually filled up correctly, we wouldn't have been held up at all. So, you know, that's my own mistake there. Williams Koke coming in with a lot of fuel there.
Jump, I think.
As you see up ahead, Alonen and Akane just battling there, but Alonen carries on and those guys go in the pit. So this is where the race is up to at this point. Most people have gone in the pits now. Up ahead, you've got Afo coming out the pits. There's Williams Koke. Williams Koke still ahead of me here, but yeah, you know, we've put in the same amount of fuel. So this is where we should have been anyway, but actually, we should have been a bit further back. So we're going to go into a battle with Williams Koke. As I said just before, Alonen is going to be saving fuel. And we're sort of in a train of cars, very multicoloured skittle train of cars. So we've got to lap number 14 now. You can see Alonen there. He's been fuel saving like a madman.
See Alonen saving a load.
as you heard me say there. So you can see that there. And as you can see on the bottom right hand side, I've got 2.8 laps of fuel remaining. It hasn't clicked yet. I'm still thinking that I'm on target here because I'm going to the end of the lap.
Oh, come on. Give me a little bit of room, mate.
Now, Alolan should have given me space there. I went for the move. It should have given me space. Didn't. Caused issues. Caused the car to get unstable. So now we're going to have to keep fighting. I think he realised a little bit that that was sort of his mistake. Because I was cleaning up the inside there. And you can see I'm not going for dive bombs or anything like that. I was just cleaning up on the inside. Just the way it was. Leave that corner key right behind me as well. And Alolan goes to the right hand side. You can see his fuel saving very drastically. So we get a nice clean pass. And he actually comes back onto the race now, which he's allowed to do. He's fighting for positions all the same. So I get ahead and he defends off key. So we go to the end of lap 17 now. And as you can see, bottom right hand side, we've got 0.4 laps of fuel. The stream chat was actually on at this point. Was going nuts saying I needed to pit. But I was obviously concentrating. I was concentrating so much on the race that I don't look at the stream chat when I'm racing. Anyway, you can see 0.2. The stream's thinking, oh yes, he's coming in the pits now. I'm not, because I still think it's the end of the race. Listen to this.
Oh, I've got another lap. Oh no, I've underfilled. I've not realised. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What an idiot.
So yes, a very funny result there because I underfilled and I didn't even realise, to be honest. But funny all the same, but we had to pull it back in this second round in the Nations Cup. So we're in Group 4, mainly the Megane of course, because it's quite an OP car. And we're at Yamagiwa 2, so it's just a reverse of Yamagiwa. Very interesting circuit. Penalty galore. Again, penalties deciding a lot in this championship. Very, very strict track limits. In fact, too strict in some situations, as we'll find out a little bit later on. So we needed a good result here to get our nations back on track. So coming up to this section here, this is where the penalties you really have to worry about. Notice how I don't even touch the curb. I'm very scared of the penalties. And that was sort of the story of this circuit in my mind. In that I was so worried about penalties at the start of this race, I dropped off a lot of pace. I really dropped off a lot of pace. I could have easily been with the first 4 guys battling constantly and things like that. But I was so worried about penalties, I dropped off. I dropped off the slipstream and it became defensive in the end. So as you see, we come through here, you see all the penalties all of a sudden just flashing up there like crazy. It's just a bit of a mistake by Dayron. Manu Rodri trying to go by there, gets by absolutely fantastically. And we're going to be in the slipstream now with Dayron. And we've pulled a bit of a gap to Matu and Derek and Perpy as well. So we had this combo nailed as well pretty much. We knew exactly what we needed to do. We hadn't practiced too much for this one compared to others. Mainly because, you know, of time and things like that. But when it's on a Saturday, I believe it's on a Saturday, it's much... I can practice a little bit more than I can on a Wednesday, for example. I practiced a lot for that Brands Hatch. I think we had a week's grace for that first round. Then we had a few days for this. So into this final corner now. And through there we go. You can see all the guys up ahead. Slent, Snake, Manu Rodri, Dayron, and then myself as we exit there. And we have got that bit of a gap to Matu. Now, believe it or not, I've lost a position to Matu at this point. But this is because of fuel. I've already been in the pits, as you can tell by my tyres on the left hand side, so don't panic. And you can see up ahead, VP Engineer seems to have had an issue, so goes directly to the left hand side, pulls over, and allows me to continue on. So we're expecting Matu to go in the pits, we believe he's going to, but doesn't.
Okay, let's go.
So we have to make our overtake. He's obviously trying to go for the non-stop strategy here instead of the one-stop. So we get past there. Dayron, really slow on the racing line there. Good job, Matu, could go through him.
Could not see my braking marker at all.
Or up to 4th position there, and as you can see, we're miles off the rest of the field here. So that was literally the story, as I said earlier on. And if you watch this as well, we get a penalty for that.
Oh, what? How is that? Oh.
Yeah. So as I said there, how is that 5-second penalty for what I wouldn't even consider a cut? But we got it, and everyone was getting these penalties.
4.8 seconds. I had 2 wheels on track.
So yes, that was a real big issue, to be honest, with this combo, was the penalties. And we are going to finish in 4th, I believe. Or it could be 5th, actually. I can't remember. Let's advance a little bit further on in the race now. So here's the final lap. Still in 4th place. Yes, we do finish in 4th. I thought we did, but needed confirmation. So as you can see here, 0.4 laps of fuel. We've done our fuel right this time. We've not had a Brands Hatch moment. That is going to live in my memory forever. And we're going to continue towards the finish. If you haven't seen any of these races, by the way, I forgot to mention this at the start, do check out the description. I will put all the live streams and videos down there that you can check them out. The full distances, you can see the live chat and things like that from the live streams. But as you can see, we're coming around to the last corner and we are going to actually have to take our slowdown. Now here's an interesting thing as well before we skip to the next round. A yellow flag is about to appear. You can't take your slowdown in a yellow flag situation. Watch it, it stops. Watch. Yellow flag stops the penalty.
What was that about then? It sort of stopped and then started again.
Very, very interesting. Now that could be used to your advantage in some situations. So,
never mind.
You know, taking your penalty at the end is not always wise. Now we get to a very interesting race. Again, we got a good 4th place there. We needed another good result here. Everybody in the kart. Very interesting race. It was always going to be a slipstream race, this kart, at the Tsukuba circuit. So it's all about making positions, getting near the front, and then being in that position to try and make the moves on the final lap. So as you can see here, we're trying to make moves straight away. Everybody actually racing very clean in the kart, to be honest. I was surprised at how clean this race was. And even better, we didn't have fuel and tyres to worry about. So guess what? We could actually have fun racing for a change. Rather than worrying about fuel, rather than worrying about tyres, we could actually race. And what a bloody good fun race this was. I'll say the videos are in the description if you want to watch the full 25 laps. This is a review of the whole season. And this is round 3. So into the final corner we go. I was using traction control 1 or 2 from memory and no ABS. That seemed to be the best compromise I could find in terms of speed, consistency, and making sure I did okay as we advance to a lap later. So we've got slipstream, going into this last corner. Again, we're just testing at this point a little bit how the car reacts. TG Tenka just makes a little bit of a mistake there. We go on the inside, get a position there up to 5th place, and we're still in sight of the lead pack, so we can still battle for this victory. Into the first corner we go, through there, nice and lovely, and then it's the end of sector 1 straight away. So we're just fast forward a little bit here. As you can see, the kart moves around a lot in some of these braking zones. You've got to be very careful, very twitchy. I'm talking millimeters on the wheel before you actually turn quite a lot. So you've got to be careful of that, it's very sensitive. So we'll continue on. We've got Oscaro Indie Food up ahead now. As we go into this fast right-hander again. Looking to make more positions if we can. As you can see, he's going to the right-hand side here. Potentially not the wisest move. Everybody battling here, so we're going to try and go around the outside. Are we going to do it? Now, because everyone's racing clean, this is the only reason this works. In most lobbies, that would not work. So, Oscaro, Indie Food, giving me plenty of room there. It's fair play to Indie Food. As then we come into this left-hander. And everyone's just trying to get back in order to, you know, break-ins a bit. Start, stop, braking. But even so, we're up to 4th position. And again, the key thing here is we're in with a chance of a victory. One thing I forgot to mention earlier on as well, my teammate's in this. So, you know, we can use some of... he can use me, I can use him. We can both use each other to our advantage, which is kind of nice. And it's, you know, it's useful. And we did that in qualifying. So let's advance all the way towards the, well, the penultimate lap. We're about to go on to the final lap. And let's look at this fantastic race. So you got Steve Gaming in 1st position, Beloff in 2nd, tiny bit of a gap to Manu Rodri. Then we've got Matty, Force UAB, GTA Matty, and then Kelster. So the Brits well up there, but 2 Germans leading the way. Going to this first corner, Beloff goes for the move on the inside, doesn't quite get it done. I just nudged Steve Gaming to go forward a little bit, try and pull him behind Beloff because this is all going to be one line of traffic. I'm trying to position myself in an appropriate manner. Into the left-hander we go. Just running a little bit wide there, but we can accelerate out, no problem. We've got Slipstream as well, so we keep that 3rd position into the right-hander. Just try and keep it as stable as we can with Slipstream. Oh, the rear coming out a little bit there as we head towards the last corner. This is where it gets interesting, and this is where Beloff sort of helps us here. So Beloff's on the inside here. Just loses the rear a little bit, which causes Steve to run a little bit wide. But it allows us to get in the slipstream of Beloff. So Steve tries to get in the slipstream here, but I'm in it. He can't do anything. He can't do a thing. And at this point, I think I've just got to go for it. Got to go for it. Round the outside, guys, and this is what the live stream's called. How round the outside? How about that? Do we do it? We do indeed.
Yes! Yes! Come on, lads! Oh, oh man!
My first victory on live stream. Unfortunately, my heart rate wasn't working on there for some reason. It was stuck on 92.
Sorry if I've just
I imagine it was spiked at 160 or 170 or something.
Oh, I think I've just like killed my kid.
But we got our first victory on stream.
Oh,
How good was that? And it was clean racing, fun racing, very strategic.
oh
We were
my
pinpoint
God.
accurate with what we wanted to do.
What a way to win round the outside.
And we came
last
out
corner.
with a victory. So at this point, we got 2,900 points, I believe it was.
Oh, that's a shame.
And that put us right back into the fray of this whole Nations Cup Championship. We needed, really needed a big victory,
man.
and we got that. And thank you
Like,
to the
unbelievable.
stream
What
support
a
as well.
good
You can
night.
see everybody
Ridiculous.
chatting there. It's awesome with you guys watching. I'm
Oh,
always
we
thankful
needed
for all the
that.
support, and there you go.
2,826.
2,826. We needed that. We got that. We can move on then to round 4, which apologies for the quality here. This was where the stream was starting to mess up a little bit with the VODs and stuff like that. So this is actually the downloaded stream from YouTube, which was 720 at the time. So I'd say apologies for the quality, but even so, I like to show you the whole season, what happened, what didn't happen, as we start round 4 at Interlagos. We're in the Group 1 cars, and the majority of this is going to be the 750 Peugeot. This was actually the double pug weekender that we had. So obviously in the manufacturers, this was a very interesting weekend, but we'll review that in the manufacturers review. But Slent behind was in the Hyundai. Which is an interesting choice because nobody really picked out the Hyundai, so fair play to Slent for going for something different, not going for the Metacar. As you can see, we qualified 4th, and we've had a nice, easy start. Ruffle there in 1st place. The aim here is to try and beat as many of the UK guys as we can. At the end of the day, we're fighting these UK guys. As we advance to lap number 5, we've just lost out a little bit on the guys in front. We have been fuel saving. The guys behind have been battling, so I'm in the middle, bit of a middle of nowhere, to be honest. Interlagos is one of my better circuits, so it was surprising that it was like this. Now, I had put traction control on. I reckon traction control wasn't actually helping me here. The only place it does really help is the last corner, I will be honest. So that's where I mainly used it. And as you can see, oh, McLaren making a mistake there. I completely forgot about that. So McLaren makes a mistake. We go ahead of McLaren, which is all very well and good. So fuel here is absolutely not a problem. It was all about tyre wear. Tyre wear and what would happen. But we advanced to the last lap because, as I say, nothing much happened. I will be honest. We went in the pits. We came out. Essentially the same things happened. We had a tight penalty, we got rid of it at the end, and we came 3rd. So we beat McLaren 6th, didn't beat Ruffalo, but the gap between me and Ruffle is only minimal at that point. So we will take that. You can see Slent did very well in the Hyundai, so you know, fair play to Slent for picking something different. So then we go to round number 5, which was Group 4 at Maggior GP, I think this is. Can't remember. Oh, or West. Apologies, I can't remember the exact track name. But even so, we picked a very late lobby. Now, there was a trick to this, and the reason why I did this was literally because I wanted a quiet lobby just to try and get like a 2.5k sort of points region. So I didn't want a very competitive lobby to try and get a little bit more. I just wanted a very, you know, let me get this amount of points, I'll be happy with that. And as you can see, we qualified on pole position. We're in the Bugatti Veyron, and we're trying to pull away very quickly.
Just in the slipstream, you lucky bugger.
And as you may have heard just there, I did say you're just in the slipstream, you lucky bugger. Because that's the whole point of this track. You've got to break the slipstream as fast as you can because of that long back straight. So we go to lap 17.
Huge possibility of Pops got penalty as well.
Nothing much changed in this entire race, so I'm not showing you most of it. But as you can see, I'm in 1st place, and I'm not going to bin this at the end of this one. It's just a nice easy race, a nice easy win, our 2nd win on stream, and yeah, all very well and good. Another 2.5k points. Now the significant point of this is that round 5 was just before round 6, which was the critical top 24 superstar race, and we had no idea whether we were going to get in that or not. Because literally the limits.
Number 1, boys.
There we go, number 1, boys. The limits were DR 75k. That's all we knew. Now many UK guys had 75k DR, so we had no idea whether we would get in or not.
We might not get in, guys. And then if that's the situation, we will load a public lobby. As I say, there's probably like 10 UK guys trying to get in, all with their cap of DR. One with less than the cap of SR, and then we think it's when you first played the game, which is kind of crazy.
So, as you just heard me chatting there,
loads
loads of guys trying to get in.
75k players, so
one person with an SR lower than 99. Now, this is where Rothel really lost out. And now, if you're watching Rothel, you really need to pay attention to SR and how it works with the matchmaking, because he didn't have 99 SR, he did not get into this lobby. And somehow, I got lucky and got in.
Whoa, we're in. What?
Now, I hadn't practiced a lot for this, as you can hear by my delight. I had not practiced at all a lot for this. I just wanted to get in, just to get some points, and to stop anybody getting 4k or 5k points. That was my goal in this race. It wasn't to do anything else other than that. So, as you can see, strong lobby here. Very strong lobby. Now, I'm one part of my points down, of course, because of Brands Hatch. And we had this very long run, so we qualified in 8th position, which again I was happy about. I had no real issues there. I wasn't really connecting with Bathurst and this combo with the Ford GT. Didn't like the car at all, especially on the Mount Panorama section right at the top of the hill. Very tricky car. But even so, we're getting ready for the race. And here we go. Now we started on a hill, so look at that jump everybody gets straight away. Now behind it wasn't too bad. So at this point, we've no idea where the braking zone is. I brake like around 100 meters, just trail braking a little bit. Unfortunately, AFO lags behind and it causes a lot of issues.
Why do I get that?
And we get a 5-second penalty, which was really frustrating. The only positive from all of this was that I built up the gap. I had the gap. But then, I decided to do this.
Oh, shit. Don't bin it.
Which was crash. Yes, indeed, I crashed. I completely forgot about cold tyres and the fact that I had full fuel load and went straight into the wall. Fortunately, I kept my position because otherwise I would not have done that. Now, that actually cost me a lot because I literally lost the pack in front at that point, and I had to sort of try and get back into the rhythm. Now, as you can see, we are much further on in the race. Gaps are all over the place. Lap number 11. We've got one more lap after this as well to do. You can see the stream guessing how many laps it's going to be because it's actually based on time, not laps. That's why there's no 11 out of 12, for example. But as you can see, we've got a yellow flag. So every time we saw a yellow flag here, we're like, yes, who's binned it? Come on, we can gain a position. Look who had gone off. It was TRL Lightning. I did really feel for Lightning here because he's not had the best season and it didn't really help there either. So we managed to keep that position up until the end, and we had to take this ridiculous 5-second penalty for no apparent reason. We lost 7th position to Adam.
We'll take 8th.
But yeah, we took 8th, and you know what? With limited practice that we had, we'll take that. We will absolutely take that.
Whoa, we're lagging bad. What's going on here?
The stream was lagging a little bit as well, so and any apologies for any of the stream lags, but we're getting new internet. Now we go to one of the more fun rounds of the Nations Cup, which is round 7. I did this for a laugh. I did not have to do this race in the slightest, but I thought Formula 1 car, Suzuka, one of my favourite tracks. Let's just have some fun. And I thought, you know what, you guys might want to watch this as well. So we're qualified in pole position, which is fantastic. As we get ready to get underway, track control 2. And then we whack it down to 0. And then we just go for some fun. Absolute fun. That's all we're doing this for. And it's a very tricky car. So one thing you will find in any lobby is that the weaker drivers versus the stronger drivers, there'll be a bigger gap. That always happens. So like in the road car races, the battles are much closer because the speed difference is much closer and they're easier to drive. It's just the way it is in racing. Now, we suddenly built up a massive gap. We really had some dominance here. Suzuka being one of my favourite tracks is good. I was very quick here in the F1 car, which actually helped me a lot. As you can see, we're on lap 12. We're 13 seconds ahead of Katong. And we have been lapping cars already, I think. Yes, we have. We got, I think we're up to, let me work this out, 15th position with lapped. But even so, we're racing, and as I said, I was just doing this for fun. So you can see on the right side, I was actually just putting in fastest laps. I was just going for fast laps. I didn't actually care at this point. I just wanted to have a bit of fun. And you'll actually see at the moment, somebody in stream actually says, don't push. Don't stop pushing so hard or something like that. Or it might have already been said, actually, as Adam appears there. But as I say, I was just having a bit of fun. So into the chicane we go. And watch this. This is very funny. Through there we go. Hey!
No. I spun.
A nice little pirouette. And as Jay says in the live stream chat there, I already have the point, so I have no pressure on me whatsoever. We come to the end of the race, and we've got a 23-second gap. So I come across the line, have a little spin.
First place.
We get another victory on the stream there in the F1 car. And we're lapped to lap 13. So then we go to round 8 and another top 24 Superstars race. Now we knew we would be in this one, so we did practice this one a little bit more than the Ford GT. The problem was this was on one of my busiest weekends of work, so I actually had to work on the Saturday, so I didn't get as much practice as I would normally in this, and so that was the same for Friday night and Thursday night as well. I would have practiced a lot more than this, so I didn't realise how critical the fuel would be in race pace. I'd obviously practiced fast laps, I hadn't done a race pace. So we got second in qualifying with a serious mistake in there, and Adam got pole. We could have had pole as well. But, you know, great job by Adam. Adam's doing a storming job in the Nations Cup at this point as we get ready to race. Here we go. Now, I actually really like this combo. I love Super GT cars or Group 2 cars. They really suit my driving style for some reason. So, you know, I always knew I'd be fairly strong here. Going into here, I'm just suffering with the heavy fuel load and cold tyres initially. Oh, the rear stepped out a little bit. Now, here's the thing with the rear of this car. I'd put the brake balance to 2, which was very good for qualifying. I didn't realise that it would actually have a negative effect in the race. And you'll see that in a little bit. As you can see, we catch up to Adam there. Adam just running a little bit wide. That corner's off camber, so you really have to chuck it in early to really hit the apex. But Adam gets a good run out there. He's going to extend the gap a little bit here. We've got Jonas behind us, then RC Snake, then Derek, Belovsocki, then Afo. But 2 Brits leading the way at the moment, which is kind of what I wanted. You know, I wanted a big points haul here. And as we come into this right-hander again, watch this. The rear just comes out a little bit. I correct. I go onto the grass. But that obviously gives Jomas a good run. So I was going to let Jomas go initially, but then I had sort of the pace to still be there. So I thought, okay, I'll just try and keep this position. As Jomas then tries to go around the outside, which is even better line, to be honest, because he get the power down earlier. Gets in front of me and takes that second place. So later on in the race, I'm actually going to knock my brake balance down from 2 to 1, and that helps massively, as you will see later on. But as you can see there, the whole front end understeering on that corner, it's just full of fuel, and it's just like, what? But even so, this track is fantastic, by the way. I really did enjoy this track. If it wasn't for the fuel, I think you would have had some crazy slipstream overtaking action, especially coming into this corner. As you can see, the rear coming out again. That's why I turned it down later on in the race, because it was just unstable. It really was unstable as we come into this hairpin. Or semi-hairpin. It's not a full hairpin, but even so. Exit there, absolutely no problem. Oh yeah, one thing to mention with this is dirty air as well. Dirty air is a significant factor. So Adam having clean air really helps him a lot. But we continue on lap number 4. Now at this point, as you can see, up ahead we've got Jomas, who's built up a little bit of a gap. I'd been fuel saving a lot at this point, a hell of a lot, because I was struggling. I was really struggling with fuel. Remember, we've got to come in at the end of lap 5. I'd chosen a one-stop strategy at this point. Initially I was going to go for 2, but stream chat said go for 1. And as you may have heard there, I wanted Derek to go by me, because obviously if a car is in front of you, you can slipstream and get an advantage. You can see I'm in 2. Now the key to this whole combo was literally to be in 2 all the time. I did not realise that, but I found that out after from Adam, so thanks very much Adam for that information. I'll remember that for next time. But as you can see, I let off here to let Derek go. I wanted to let him go and then come in behind and try and save some fuel if I can. I didn't want to fight Derek at all, really. As I come through there, again I'm going to short shift even more. We've got 1.2 laps of fuel remaining, and we've got more than a 0.2 of the track to go yet. So we've got an unbelievable effort still to come. As you can see, 1 lap to go. We're still not near the end. We've got a sector and a half to go. So we are really trying to save fuel at this point. Into the left. And then heading towards the last corner. So 0.9 laps of fuel remaining. I will get my words out eventually as we come into the last corner. And you can see Jonas goes in, Derek goes in, they go for 2 stop. Probably I should have done the same at that point. I had enough fuel there as Jonas that I could have potentially done that. And I suppose that's why Jonas maybe came in, didn't fuel save enough, decided to go for the 2 stop instead. But I try and go for the 1 stop, insanely. And I do regret this a little bit. So I am going really slow at this point. Look at this. Power down up to 3 now. just to try and save fuel. So at this point, I'm letting Snake go here. So I'm thinking, okay, go Snake. I've still not seen Snake. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
Where's Snake gone? Oh my god, he didn't go for it.
It didn't go for it, and that cost me loads of time here. So Snake's now going to have a run on me, and Bell's going to have a big run on both of us.
I can't actually see.
But look at this. Through they go. Nice move by Belloff to go and get 2 positions there. But I'm coming into the pits here on fumes. There's 0 fuel here.
Whew. That was too risky.
So yes, I wish I didn't do that. But even so, we survived. We lost a lot of time. Yeah, we're going to have to come out. And as you see, Adam actually only put 40 in, which was a mistake by Adam. So he's had to change from a 1-stop to a 2-stop.
Now we're going to do it again.
But yes, as I just said, we've got to do it again now. But this time, the second stint, we save a lot better than we did on the first stint. If we'd have done what we did on this stint, like we did, if we did this on the first stint, like we did on the second stint, we'd have had no problems. No problems at all. We'd have had the brake balance in the right place, and it'd have been fine. So we lost a position to Snake. We lost a position to Alexoni. We lost a position to Afo. Afo did very well there, undercutting everybody. And because I didn't realise with the fuel, I potentially could have under-fueled a little bit here and actually managed to do a lot better. But even so, we continue on. The problem I had is I couldn't get by Alexoni. And I didn't want to risk it because he's got a penalty anyway. So it was very hard to overtake in the first place. So I just stayed behind. Now here's where the issue comes, because obviously Alexoni is trying to fuel save a little bit more than I am, because he obviously underfueled to overtake me. Coming into here, I just turned in a little bit too early, a little bit too deep, and this is going to allow Zocchi to come through here. So I've got to let him go here, because he's on the inside. It's a very, very long right-hander. So at this point I think, okay, I could maybe go for the overtake if I want to. But of course I've got to try and save fuel as well. But I go to the inside, I can't do anything. Alexoni's not over there. Got to come back in. Fuel map to 6. Drop it back down again. We've got to hope that we can find some place to overtake Zocchi and Alexoni to at least get back up to 6th position. So we continue towards this right-hander again. Oh, Zocchi just brakes a bit sharp. I didn't realise that was going to happen. That's why I looked there. Wasn't going for the move there. That may look like it on the top 24 actual video feed. Wasn't going for a move there at all. Into left-hander we go. Through there. Zocchi just losing the rear a little bit there. Continues on as we head towards the final parts of this track, and obviously Lightning there, 45.8. Lightning again having a shocker of a race, really unfortunate for him. So Alexoni decides to take a little bit of his penalty there, allows Zocchi to get the move done on Alexoni, but then I'm right behind. So at this point, it's all about staying right behind Alexoni. Can we stay right behind him to at least get that position from him and at least get 7th position? That's the goal at this point. I don't want to make a move. I don't want to lose any more time to TX3 Adam. As we head towards this final sector now. Into the left-hander we go. So that where my position on track there, that was sort of to half defend a position, but you know, if the opportunity arises, I can go for the move. A TX3 Adam disappeared entirely. I'm not sure where he went. Obviously Derek's on 2 stops, he can be very aggressive. Into the final corner we go. Through there, and as we head towards the line, we're obviously going to get the 7th position here from Alexoni as he brakes. Let's just go.
Oh, that was a bad race.
7th position.
Well played by Adam.
Bad race by us, but
we
could have done better. But we needed the race practice, and that's what we struggled on. We really, really struggled on.
So yeah, let's see what happens.
So the final round, round number 10 of the Nations Cup.
8 laps. We're doing a
the minute you join this lobby, you're done.
Stop.
You have qualified. So we have qualified for the Nations Cup final, the regional final, should I say, actually, for the EMEA region, which is sometime in October. So hopefully you can support me there, as you do on my streams all the time. Tier 3 Adam, just making a mistake at the last corner. That's going to give us an opportunity for a position. Now, I did about 20 minutes practice in this car. As you can see by the mileage down at the bottom left, 82 miles. That includes qualifying, includes the warm-up, and includes any practice beforehand. I hadn't done a lot of practice for this. You can see that in the mileage. So this was all for fun, and I knew what I was going to do. I was always going to do a non-stop strategy. I just didn't know how to do it. I knew obviously about short shifting and fuel saving and stuff like that, but I've never actually practiced this. So I was just guessing at this point what to do, where to go, and things like that. So we go to lap number 2. As you can see, we're down on our fuel at the moment. At the moment, we'd have to pit, so I have to fuel save even more. We've got a yellow flag up ahead. There has been an accident. That accident is between Zocchi and Alexoni, and I believe it involved Beloff as well, looking at the video. So we managed to get up to 12th place. Remember, we started in 16th position, But yes, they've re-overtaken us again, have Zocchi and Alexoni, because they are doing a one-stop strategy. But the dirty air just gave us a little bit of understeer just before Tetra Rouge. And we make a big mistake there, just clipped the dirt. Managed to catch it, lost 2 positions. So we've gone from 16th to 12th to 17th. So not the greatest race so far.
That in slow motion, that was kind of hilarious actually.
But this is where it's critical, because now
and I felt the current steer,
we can actually have some fun and actually do our fuel saving. Because obviously in the next lap, people are going to be coming in the pits. And as long as we're behind Nussini at this point, we can save a lot of fuel, a hell of a lot of fuel. So go to lap number 5. Some of the pit stoppers have been in, Manu Rodri being the highest of those pit stoppers. I do an absolute cracking lap 4 and lap 5, and here's Adam coming out the pits, and we just get that position. So at this point, we're in 3rd. That is our actual position in this race. Obviously, Adam has some fresh tyres, Manu Rodri has some fresh tyres, but his tyres will go off a bit quicker than everybody else's. In that 750R, that's the same for all 750s by the way, not just because it's Manu Rodri. So, you know, we just have to be wary of that towards the end of the race we can actually battle again, but at this point, we're just about surviving, and we have good top speed in this car, as you're about to find out. We leave that first chicane. You can see Adam initially closing up, and then he starts to drop off here. So that is the Peugeot's advantage. This diesel car from the early 2010s sort of era of Le Mans is bloody brilliant. As we leave the second chicane here, watch Adam fly by in the hybrid system, watch it kick in. Boom, there we go. However, we don't have a hybrid, we just got top end grunt. As you see Adam, and we're going to actually retake that position, which is brilliant. That's exactly what we wanted. So we are fighting for 3rd here, you know, we're doing a bloody good job. Again, limited practice. In fact, like half this race, this point of the race, this is literally half of what we'd already done. It's unbelievable. So there we go, through Adam goes, hybrid system really kicking in. We do start to reel Adam in again, but we don't want to go for the move. So a little while later, a few of the one-stoppers have gone by at this point, and I'm sort of in the middle of nowhere. So at this point, I'm just thinking, let's get to the end. 9th position. We've literally hardly any practice. We've doubled the amount of miles, basically, or nearly have done, from when we started the race to this point. That shows you how much practice we'd actually done. You know, it's not a lot. So as we leave this corner, absolutely fine. So let's work that out actually. 147 miles, right? So that's 8. That's at 8 laps.
Looking like a nice position.
We started the race on 80 miles. So there's your. Let's do some maths. 60 miles is 8 laps. We've done 10 laps. That also includes qualifying. So let's knock off another 10 laps. Let's knock off 4 laps of that. So that's down to 6 laps of practice. Let's knock off a lap for warm up. That's 5 laps of practice. Notice how we have done hardly any practice, and we get 9th position in this top 24 superstar race. What? Mind blown! The reason for that, obviously, is because we were practicing for the manufacturers, and that's the reason why all the practice went. But even so, 9th position, we will take that in this race. This obviously offered a lot of points, a hell of a lot of points. But through here we go, and then as we head towards the line, we get 9th position, and I'll tell you what, I'm happy with that.
We'll take 9.
Absolutely happy with that. With that much limited practice, I say it's 5 laps total, but that won't just be laps. That'll be restarts and stuff like that. It's nothing. We've done hardly anything. So yes, 9th position, and we will have a look at the final results in a second. Again, thank you for the support, by the way, guys, in the stream, on the chat. You can see on the left hand side. Unbelievable support from you guys. Every time we streamed, it's just been fantastic. Each and every one of you, and anyone who's donated. Oh my word, trust me, you're getting a place on my videos and stream permanently, because wow, you guys are awesome. But there you can see the final results. We come 7th overall in the Nations Cup, which from the start, where we had a terrible time at Bathurst, Brands Hatch, I mean. A very fortunate bit of luck in round 6 at Bathurst, and then we managed to put in some quality results after that. Is a really good position to finish. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for the support, and thank you very much for watching some of these races. Congratulations to Adam for a flawless Nations Cup. I look forward to racing Adam and everybody else you can see on that leaderboard in the regional final. But that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video or stream, whichever one is next. But I will see you next time. So, ciao for now.